There's a latest single from the band All or Nothing. It's called Dead or Alive, and you probably recognize the great vocals on there.
Yeah, I did.
Terry-Ilous is on this track, and today he's with us on Rock and Metal Revival. We want to welcome you back to the show, Terry. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Actually, it's Terry-Ilous and George Lynch featuring AON.
Yeah.
A little bit different.
Well, you know, when I first heard the track, I was just blown away by the track. How did you guys get involved with this, and how did you get George into the project?
Well, here's the truth. The truth is it was actually a track that was supposed to be recorded by XYZ, and it was recorded, it was actually worked on 3 years ago, and we didn't do anything with it. And then I listened to the track again. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good, actually. We could do something with it. So I've been friends with the guy from All or Nothing for a while now, working with them, and I love the kids. I told them, I said, would you like to hear a song that I have? And they said, yeah. So they listened to the song, they liked it. And I said, you know, why don't we bring George in the picture? I've always wanted to work with George Lynch. And they said, oh, it's a great idea because they love George. I mean, Jacob absolutely adores George. So I called George. I said, would you like to hear a track? He said, yes. He listened to the track. He said, I'm in. And that was it.
Nice.
Nice. Now, will there be any more songs coming from this project? Yeah. And are there going to be some live shows or anything? Because, dude, I'd like to see this.
Yeah. Live shows for sure, because we have one coming up next week in near Detroit. That's actually almost sold out already. So there's a few tickets left.
Nice.
So it's doing very well. We did some shows in December. All the shows were sold out. Songs, yes. I'm currently working on a new track. I wrote something new, and the lyrics are finished. The music is 80% finished. I need to talk to Jacob and George to. I'm missing that killer riff. I'm not much of a riff player. When I write songs, I write the overall song. I don't write those killer riffs. So George or Jacob from All or Nothing will probably be able to help me with that.
Nice. That's awesome. You know, Terry, I've always been a fan of XYZ's music, and when I heard this tune, that was the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah. This sounds like but besides your vocals being on
the riff,
really reminded me of XYZ. Do you have a lot of songs that you've written for XYZ that you're just kind of holding on to, looking for the right, time to get them out?
Yes, well, thank you. I appreciate your nice comment. I do have a lot of songs ready. I'd say about 20. 20 songs ready to go. Some already recorded and produced and mastered and everything. It's just I'm not sure if I want to release them under the name XYZ or under something else. I'm not quite sure yet. We have an EP that's ready to go. In fact, I'm going to Denver. Probably next week, I'm going to Denver to put the final touch on that particular EP, add more guitars and stuff like that. And I have so many songs. I mean, dude, I have maybe 20 songs for XYZ ready to go, and another 10 that I have recorded and mastered already. I just don't know when to release them. And releasing a song nowadays, I mean, it's just like, with the Spotify and everything, it's kind of difficult because you make no money. You need to understand that I do music because I love it. Okay, I don't do music because I expect to be rich, which I'm comfortable in my life, but I don't do it for the music first of all. But it's nice to get paid. Unfortunately, when you do things on using Spotify, you make nothing. So it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I totally get that. Now I really like the video for Dead or Alive. I mean, it's kind of cool seeing George Lynch playing a Gibson Les Paul and still sounding like George Lynch. It kind of makes you think, it doesn't matter what he's playing. But it's some cool guitars and stuff. Now, were you guys in the same studio, or was would you just send it back and forth and send a cameraman?
With the kids, I call them the kids, and it's not by all means demeaning. They're just half my age. That's why I call them the kids, and I love the kids. I love Jacobs, Brett. I love Ian. I those Skylar. Those kids are great. You know, they're young. They're 21 years old. So I love those kids. What happened? We were in studio. My drummer for XYZ, Joey, owns a state-of-the-art studio in Denver. I mean, a true amazing $1 million studio, the old-fashioned way with all the big console and everything. So he owns that.
Nice.
So we went. We flew the kids to Denver. We all worked together, and actually the kids were filming it. It's funny. I mean, Brett was like filming me. I was filming him. We were filming each other. It's really like a low production type of thing. And George was in Los Angeles, in where he lives, and he recorded the part. And George is a beast when it comes to guitar. He's just, he belongs to a dying breed. I don't mean that to be because he's old whatsoever. I mean because George Lynch is a phenomenal guitar. And I've always wanted to play with him. It's just ever since I listened to the first Dokken album, I said, "Oh my God, I want to play with this guy." And I have to say that when him and I are on stage together, there's magic in the air. It's just that's all I can say. It's just we look at each other and we know it's just meant to be. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
You know, Terry, the last time we spoke to you on this show, you were promoting Gypsy Dreams, which we love that release.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, a lot has happened since then. That was, 2017? You're no longer with Great White. And then I just saw that you did a show with Jack Russell. How did all that come together? Are you and Jack longtime friends?
No, we're not longtime friends. Actually, although we did many shows together back in the days, we were not friends for some reasons. We were not enemies at all, by all means. You know, I understand that. We were just not friends. You know, it just didn't happen like that. However, you know, when I fronted Great White, I started listening to Great White way more, and I really like his voice. Jack's a great singer.
Yeah.
You know, so we met a few times, and I paid him some compliments. He did the same, and we became friends. I mean, there's something between Jack and I that's on stage that is magical as well, you know. But you need to understand that I have no animosity toward anyone in the band, Great White, at all. I'm happy for them. I'm so happy they have Brett from All or Nothing. I'm happy for Jack. He's on his own. He's doing great. I'm kind of the glue because I'm friends with Brett, who's the new singer. I'm friends with Jack, who's the old singer, previous singer. And I'm myself, the previous singer as well. So I have no animosity. I'm happy for everyone. I live my life. I have my own thing going on, and it's what it is. But Jack and I have more shows coming up, in fact. When we're on stage together, it's the same thing. We just laugh, and he's a funny guy, and he's an intelligent person, which is, you know, refreshing, you know.
Nice. Now, are you going to release any more tunes with him? I know you did the Tom Petty cover.
Yeah. Well, we're finally going to promote that. You know, it's a funny thing. I did the Tom Petty cover, but we did not promote it at all because before the holidays and everything, and I didn't know how people would react to it. And I get so many compliments and emails from people telling me where can I get the track, all that stuff. So, you know, I have to talk to Jack and see if he wants to do another song. But if he will, then I will produce another one. I mean, I have tons of ideas, man. I'm a very prolific songwriter and a producer. So I work constantly. That's for sure.
Nice.
Terry, is there any thought or in the works of putting XYZ back together and out on the road anytime in the future?
I'm going to Denver next week. Denver is our second home. Why? Because Pat lives in Denver. Pat is between Denver and Las Vegas, and Joey, our drummer, lives in Las Vegas. Denver, and I've spent a lot of time in Denver as well. So we have the EP ready to go. We're gonna release one single at a time. We're not gonna do an entire album. and it's just the band has matured a bit, so we're not gonna do the same thing we did back in 1988, 1989. Our fans are older, we are older, and we're not gonna talk about strippers and everything because we can't afford to go to. We can't afford to go to strippers. No, you're kidding. We're not going to talk about spandex because we don't fit in the spandex anymore.
Yeah.
So we, no, but we have to be real. I mean, it's still going to rock, trust me. It's going to rock, but it's just a little bit more, how can I say? It's just more mature. That's the right way to say it. Like a Zeppelin type of band. If you listen to Led Zeppelin, the first album was one way. With the whole Loud Love and all that stuff. And then they went on to do Physical Graffiti and all that stuff, which were absolutely exceptional albums. So the band matured, but it's still the same voice, still the same sound. It's the same for XYZ. I mean, I do not think was Zeppelin at all. I'm just giving you that as an example that it's important to mature and not do the same thing you did 30 years ago because in life, you have to move on. You have to move on and explore new things and think outside the box. You can't just be the same person you were 30 years ago because you're not. You're not. As we get older, David Bowie said something amazing. He said, getting old is amazing because you're finally becoming the person you always meant to be. And you become wiser. You become, of course, you're slower, that's for sure. But the thing is, we're more matured, so that's great, I think.
Yeah, nice. Now, speaking of aging, I mean, dude, your voice sounds so good. How do you keep it in shape? I mean, so many singers nowadays from back in the 80s and stuff, they can't compare to what they've done before. But I mean, what I've heard from this last song you just put out, dude, you haven't lost anything. What's the magic? You got some magic juice or something there?
No, I have no magic juice. Every day I thank God. Every day I thank the universe for my voice. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm scared to lose my voice. Like every singer out there, we're all scared. I'm like, oh my God, is he still gonna get the note? But so far so good. You know, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I try to keep a healthy lifestyle, and I'm careful with my voice. I choose the notes very carefully. When I'm on stage, I'm But one thing I can tell you is the more you sing, the better it sounds, and that's the truth. When you do one show, for example, you haven't sang in a while. You do one show, well, you're like the notes are okay. And then the next day you do another show, and all of a sudden your voice is really strong. So the voice is a muscle that you need to practice a lot. That's all. You need to sing a lot. The more you sing, the better.
Okay.
That's awesome. You know, I was reading that you're involved with this Legends of Classic Rock. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Thank you. Well, Legends of Classic Rock is the band that I have with Greg D'Angelo, my partner, who was the drummer for White Lion. And, we put this band together, and we do casinos events, corporate events for the rich and famous. We just did a corporate event in New York for 4 days. We were there 5 days, actually. So who's involved in the band? Jay Boylston, who was the guitar player at one point for the band Bad Company. Chuck Wright, who was with Quiet Riot, and Alice Cooper, and
nice.
Kevin Jones, who was the keyboard player for Ozzy, and myself.
Nice.
So we do corporate events. We do performing arts centers, and we do songs we have written or recorded or be a part of, and some classics as well. And we enjoy ourselves, and we're making good money, and we're happy. You know, I mean,
yeah, good for you.
The thing is, you go on stage and you have to be happy. Whatever you do in life, you need to do it because you love doing it. You don't do it because it's a chore. Don't do that. Just do music or go to work because you love to do it. If you don't like it, just change life. Go somewhere else. If you don't like your wife, move on and divorce her. Be with somebody else. The most important thing is to do what you love to do because life is so freaking short.
Yeah.
We're all getting old, and some of us never had the chance to really give themselves a chance. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
don't hold back. Don't hold back.
Nice.
You know, that's what it is.
Cool.
There was a song like that. What was that? Arnold used to say, "Don't hold back." Yucky yak. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nice. Now, I want to go back to your Hired Gun album. I got a real serious question here now. Do you think the song Once in a Lifetime could have benefited from adding some cowbell?
I love you, man. Once in a Lifetime, it's a great song.
It's such a slow ballad. It's just
you need more cowbell. Yeah. No. I wrote that song at the time I met someone, and that person meant a lot to me for just a few seconds, and nothing happened at all. So sometimes you meet someone, and unfortunately the universe doesn't agree with you, and then you move on, and that's exactly what happened.
All right.
Nice.
Well, Terry, we appreciate you taking some time with us. I got one more question for you before we go. The song Inside Out. When you were recording that, when you first started playing it, did you think that still in the year 2023? I heard it on the radio the other day. Yeah. So I mean, did you know that song would last the test of time?
No, I got to be honest with you. Here's the true story. People need to hear that. We were about to get signed with Atlantic Records. Okay, so they gave us a deal. Atlantic Records signed us, and then 3 months down the line, they said, "We're not going to sign you guys. You're dropped." So we didn't do anything with Atlantic Records. So I was like, "All right." So we were just about to say, "What do we do?" I said, "Well, why don't we release our own thing out there?" And at the time, you have to realize in 88, 89,
not a lot of people were doing that.
It was not very cool. Yeah, nobody would release their own albums. Independent albums were not cool back then. You know, you had to be with a major label. So, but we said, as usual, because this is who I am, I said, screw you, I'm going to do it my way. So I gathered some money. We had a lot of money from a very well-known gentleman we can't name because he's a well-known porn star. Anyway, he's an interesting character. Anyway, so he gave us a lot of money to do a demo and an album. And at the time, Mark came up with the riff. I came up with the melody and the arrangement, and Pat and I did the lyrics. I didn't think anything of that song. We went to the Troubadour, it's a club in Los Angeles, and we said, let's try that song. I didn't even have the finished lyrics. I just sang inside, whoa, 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 a couple of things like that. That's about it. And there was an A&R guy from Enigma Records that night. And I got to tell you, there was maybe 5 or 6 people in the room, seriously. And this A&R guy said to me, I like that song. I'm like, really? I thought he was joking. So one thing led to another, and we were signed on the strength of one song. We never thought they would like the song. I'm like, that song sucks, you know? But, I mean, what you think is great usually doesn't go far, and what you think is wonderful, I'm sorry, what you think is great doesn't go far, but what you don't like, people are going to like. It's the way it is, you know? Yeah. So we got lucky on the strength of one song. We ended up having a career, 30 years, and making money and living a nice life and doing interviews and being respected. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That is awesome. Well, Terry, we appreciate your time. And like I said, you are always welcome to come back here anytime you need to promote something. We'd love to talk to you again.
I appreciate that. I'll be back soon for XYZ. Trust me, I will.